It is but my gratitude I earn. It is but your gratitude you earn. Welcome back, fam. Today we are going to be studying lesson 197 of A Course in Miracles. Very informative lesson and opens up very powerfully by stating, here is the second step we take to free your mind from the belief in outside force pitted against your own. So today we are going to dive deeper and become even more convinced than ever before that we are the source of our experience. We are the source of what it is that we're experiencing. It is always our doing. It is this powerful tool of ours, our mind, that is untrained, that is causing us to either be in heaven or hell in any given moment in time. And by our deliberate intent, we are going to practice and practice and practice thinking with God like we've been. And the more and more and more we do that, the easier it will become until we no longer need to give it any conscious attention because we've done it for so long. It's just a program. We think positively and we think, period, because it is our habit. It is our autopilot program. Now, what we're doing right now, we cannot consider thinking, because whenever you are experiencing any form of worry, doubt, or fear, etc., all of those are forms of illusion, because only love exists, and what is all-encompassing has no opposite. Therefore, whenever you are feeling worry, doubt, or fear, whatever thought caused you to feel that way, you can consider an illusion, and therefore you're not thinking at all. So let's remember that we are, as God created us, we are not these bodies. We are spirit and we are free. Let's go ahead and dive straight in. If you got the book, pull up to the lesson, and if you don't got the book yet, the PDF is in the description. Let's go ahead and begin. Lesson 197. It can be but my gratitude I earn. Here's the second step we take to free your mind from the belief in outside force pitted against our own. You make attempts at kindness and forgiveness, yet you turn them to attack again unless you find external gratitude and lavish thanks. Your gifts must be received with honor, lest they be withdrawn. And so you think God's gifts are loans at best, at worst, deceptions which would cheat you of defenses to ensure that when he strikes, he will not fail to kill. Now, we're going to continue, but let's just remember that this imagery that is being used here, this exaggeratedness, is used on purpose, because although we may not be aware of what's happening, although we may not be aware that this is what's going on whenever we are thinking fearfully, this is what's going on. And it has to be stated in an exaggerated way for us to actually understand what's going on beneath the surface whenever we believe in thoughts of fear and separation. If we believe in thoughts of fear and separation, this too must be what we believe. And it has to be exaggerated in the way that it is in order for us to actually see that we hold this belief system, and now we can finally do something about replacing it with truth. How easily are God and guilt confused by those who know not what their thoughts can do. Deny your strength, and weakness must become salvation to you. See yourself as bound, and bars become your home. Nor will you leave the prison house or claim your strength until guilt and salvation are not seen as one, and freedom and salvation are perceived as joined, with strength beside them to be sought and claimed and found and fully recognized. The world must thank you when you offer it release from your illusions, yet your thanks belong to you as well, for its release can only mirror yours. This is powerful. What we just read is super powerful, because whenever you give judgment, you experience it in that moment. If you don't believe me, go ahead and try. If you're looking at someone else and you're sending them whatever energy you're sending them, whether that's fear or criticism or judgment or envy or whatever it may be that you're sending someone, you're experiencing it that simultaneous instant. You cannot run away from yourself. You cannot think that you could think thoughts about other people in a way that you wouldn't like them to think about you and think that you're not doing it to yourself. Another way of saying that would be whatever you give, you are receiving. And not only is that going to be received in a later point in time, but because time is of our own making and it is a belief of our own and it's not really there, we are actually receiving what it is that we're giving the same instant that we give it. Meaning, whenever you give love, you're experiencing love. Whenever you give hate, you're experiencing hate. And it would be foolish of someone to give hate and think that they're actually doing something to benefit themselves and thinking they're feeling better by doing so because they're experiencing the hate whether they're aware of it or not. Remember, misery loves company. The ego loves company because the ego, believing that that person over there is an ego, makes it feel good because it justifies its own existence. Now, whenever you are identified with spirit like we are right now, and I could confidently say that I believe we are at a state where we are identifying with spirit right now, then you feel good whenever you see other people in this state of mind as well, because it's also reinforcing the knowingness that they are not bodies either. They are spirit just like you. We are all one here. We are all equivalent counterparts to the whole. We are one with and a part of all aspects of creation. And to believe that, and not only believe, because it's not a belief that has to be believed, but just to know that, because it is just how this works around here, that is just what it is, to know that we are one with and a part of all aspects of creation causes you to feel at peace. That is a symptom. Happiness, joy, abundance, peaceful state of mind, those are all symptoms of knowing who you really are. And symptoms of not knowing who you are or believing that you are the body, i.e. the ego, are worry, doubt, fear, jealousy, uneasiness, lack, etc. And the only way to not experience those is to stop giving those. Do not give what you do not want, because remember, the only thing that could be lacking in any situation is what you are not giving. Meaning, if you believe that you are not receiving love, it is because you're not giving love. Because if you were giving love, you would have to be experiencing what you're giving in that simultaneous instant. So let's keep everything that we're discussing right now in mind, because it is going to be very big. It is a very big concept of A Course in Miracles entirely, and not only concept, but this is just again how things work around here, and we can either one accept that and be at peace, or deny that and try to look for peace outside of ourselves where we're never going to find it. Your gratitude is all your gifts require, that they be a lasting offering of a thankful heart, released from hell forever. Is it this you would undo by taking back your gifts because they were not honored? It is you who honor them and give them fitting thanks, for it is you who have received the gifts. It does not matter if another thinks your gifts unworthy. In his mind there is a part that joins with yours in thanking you. It does not matter if your gifts seem lost and ineffectual. They are received whether they are given. In your gratitude are they accepted universally and thankfully acknowledged by the heart of God himself. And would you take them back when he has gratefully accepted them? One more time. And would you take them back when he has gratefully accepted them? God blesses every gift you give to him, and every gift is given him because it can be given only to yourself. We're getting some valuable information right now. And what belongs to God must be his own. What belongs to you must be your own. Yet you will never realize his gifts are sure, eternal, changeless, limitless, forever giving out, extending love and adding to your never-ending joy while you forgive but to attack again. Withdraw the gifts you give, and you will think that what is given you has been withdrawn. But learn to let forgiveness take away the sins you think you see outside yourself, and you can never think the gifts of God are lent but for a little while before never before he snatches them away again in death. One more time. But learn to let forgiveness take away the sins you think you see outside yourself, and you can never think the gifts of God are lent but for a little while, before he snatches them away again in death, for death will have no meaning for you then. Meaning, what we are receiving right now is whenever we are lacking love or gratitude or joy or whatever it is that we would desire to be experiencing, it is not because it has been taken away from us or we are not worthy or deserving of it. It is simply that we are not giving it, therefore we cannot receive. And the only way to experience what it is that we feel like we're not experiencing is to experience it. It's literally as simple as that, but in the moment when we're not experiencing it, it could definitely feel not that very simple. So let's go ahead and continue. And with the end of this belief is fear forever over. Thank yourself, with a capital S, for this, for he is grateful only unto God, and he gives thanks for you unto himself. To everyone who lives will Christ yet come, for everyone must live and move in him. His being in his Father is secure, because their will is one. Their gratitude to all they have created has no end, for gratitude remains a part of love, and love has no end. Love is eternal, infinite, forever extending, forevermore. It cannot end. Thanks be to you, the Holy Son of God, for as you were created, you contain all things within your capital S self, which is who you really are, which is who we are being right now, due to the fact that we are not experiencing any form of fear in our minds. We are being the capital S self. Now, whenever you are experiencing any form of worry, doubt, fear, separation, etc., to any degree, you are identifying with a flawed premise of you, a flawed premise, meaning who you think you are, but who you are really not. Meaning, if you think that you are separate from all aspects of creation and your source, then that is a flawed premise, because you are believing in something that is not really occurring. You are one with all aspects of creation. You are literally one with your source. This is something that has to be experienced and is beyond what words can convey. Although A Course in Miracles does a very great job in conveying this message, it still needs to be experienced by someone in order to fully understand what that means. Now, whenever you are experiencing separation to any degree, you are going to feel some form of emotion other than outrageous joy. Now, you may feel content. That is a form of separation, although you're not fully separated as you would be whenever you are feeling depressed or powerless. Meaning, if we step back and take a look at the emotional guidance scale, for example, it is a scale, and the worse you feel, the further down the scale you are, meaning the more further your awareness is of who you really are. And the better you feel, the more in the vicinity you are to the awareness of who you really are. Meaning, whenever we are feeling as good as we do right now, we are in the vicinity of capital S self, of God, of who we really are. And whenever we are not experiencing the way that we're feeling right now, we're feeling any degree of anything less than this, we are experiencing separation, and there is nothing wrong with that other than us actually believing that we could be separated. But whenever you are feeling separation, as long as you know that it is a part of the oneness and you can never really be separated from your source, it is such a great feeling, because now whenever you are in anger or envy or just even contentment or boredom, or you are feeling uneasy, if you take a step back from identifying with that emotion and take a step back from identifying with the body who you think is you, who is feeling that way, and you look from a higher perspective, you could say, okay, right now in this moment I may be experiencing this negative emotion or this form of upset or fear, but I understand that there is really no separation to begin with. So I understand that this experience that I'm experiencing right now is simply just that, an experience, and it is an expression of love, no matter how to the contrary it may present itself to be. This form of fear is an experience of love. It is It is an experience of love, and I can embrace this negative emotion because what you resist persists. What you cannot confront will come back at you more frequently with more intensity. Therefore, that is why it is important for us to do the internal work that we've been doing for the past 197 days, because whenever we do this work, we are more aware that fear is an illusion. Therefore, we are more able and capable to look at our fears and face our fears, because one, we understand that they're not real to begin with. We understand that we have given everything we see in this world all the meaning that it has for us, including people, situations, circumstances, events, letters, numbers, words, phrases. We have given all these things meaning to us. And whenever we face our fears and we face and confront whatever it is that we are afraid of, it, one, will no longer keep coming back to us, and two, we cannot be triggered again if it does, because we have released all of the meaning that we have attached to that thing. So let's keep in mind that the work that we are doing right now is, again, very crucial. It is very important to our reawakening to who we really are on a more consistent basis, to the point where we no longer have to reawaken because we never fall asleep. We are enlightened masters, and you can be feeling this way even whenever you are feeling angry or worry or doubt or fear. And it's just going to take some practice to realize that that's the only thing that's going on ever is love. And all forms of everything ever are expressions of love, are expressions of God. And again, I do want to disclaim that this is something that must be experienced, because these words to someone who is nowhere near the vibrational vicinity of what we're experiencing right now sound like Pollyanna. They sound very far-fetched. They sound very unrealistic. And this is the most realistic thing that there is. And whenever we are experiencing anything other than this, that is actually what is unrealistic. That is actually what is not normal. Fear is the stranger here. Love is what is, and the only thing that is. And as long as we can see that and keep our eye on love, on the I am presence, on who we really are, on the fact that we are as God created us, always have been and forever will be, on the fact that we are not this body, on the fact that we are spirit, on the fact that we are one with and a part of our creator, and there's no difference between us or our creator. As long as we remain in the awareness of where we're at right now, we will be fine, because we will be thinking actually. And as we think thoughts of creation, then whatever it is that we may need in this physical dream that we are in will present itself to us. And whenever we are experiencing any form of not enoughness, that is what is also going to continue to present itself in our world, because that is what we are giving attention to. What we are giving attention to is going to continue to perpetuate itself, because we are dwelling in that state of mind. We are flowing all our life force to the lack of something and getting more of the lack of it. And whenever we flow our attention to the presence of something, like we are doing right now, the presence of love, the presence of God, then we will get more of that, because our life force is literally exactly that. So let's go ahead and continue, but let's understand how much power we really hold here, and let's understand that it can be but our gratitude that we earn. No one else's, because we all share that gratitude, because God gave it to us. We gave it to ourselves. And with the end of this belief is fear forever over. Thank your capital S self for this, for he is grateful only unto God, and he gives thanks unto you, for you unto himself. To everyone who lives will Christ yet come, for everyone must live and move in him. His being in his Father is secure, because their will is one. Their gratitude to all they have created has no end, for gratitude remains a part to love. Thanks be to you, the Holy Son of God, for as you were created, you contain all things within your capital S self, and you are still as God created you, nor can you dim the light of your perfection. In your heart, the heart of God is laid. He holds you dear because you are himself. All gratitude belongs to you because of what you are. Give thanks as you receive it. Be you free of all ingratitude to anyone who makes your capital S self complete. And from this capital S self, who you really are, is no one left outside. We are all one. Give thanks for all the countless channels which extend this self. All that you do is given unto him. All that you think can only be his thoughts, sharing with him the holy thoughts of God. Earn now the gratitude you have denied yourself when you forgot the function God has given you, but never think that he has ever ceased to offer thanks to you. And that is the end of lesson 197. This is a lesson that must be felt. There's really not too much more explaining that needs to occur here. Let's go ahead and remain in this awareness all day today. And if we lose it and can't get it back, we will come back here together and we will regain our awareness again and again and again until we never have to regain anything, because we never lose it to begin with. So with that being said, we will conclude right here, and we will meet again tomorrow for lesson 198 of A Course in Miracles.